This week on the podcast, we're getting hyped as we talk about the most anticipated games and share our tastiest predictions for the year. And on this week's Pixel Picks Showdown, we crown the best Hero FPS game. All this and more on the Pixel Parents podcast. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Pixel Parents podcast, the show that discusses all things gaming from the perspective of parents. I am your host, Liam Kelvin, and of course today I am joined by the bearded one, Scott, the tastemaker. Curry, how are we, Scott?
I'm fine. I always start the beginning of the podcast with low energy, and now it builds through nonsense. But I'm actually all right. I've thawed out. You know, it is fucking freezing. If you're listening to us from anywhere with heating and warmth, go fuck yourselves because this fucking Baltic here is so cold. I've had to scrape my car 3 times today.
Oh,
3 bloody times.
that is a nightmare.
Having to do it once is a chore. Oh, fuck.
It's not that. When it gets like this level of cold and the shavings go back on your hands and it numbs it.
Aye.
Yeah.
Just got to go away, man.
First world problems.
Aye, but I was going to buy one of those covers, like one of those windscreen covers, and that'll hopefully ease my woes.
I think that'd be a very wise purchase.
Aye, especially where we live, so it'll be a good idea. And I'm also just happy to see that you're not, coughing in our faces the whole time.
Not yet.
Listening to that last podcast, it was like a cry for help. You were given like Morse code.
Whatever's going about just now, I mean, it's still lingering.
Aye.
I thought I was taking another dip back into it yesterday. Like you can probably hear it. Like my throat isn't 100%, but yeah, just if anybody's got the sniffles, avoid them. I
didn't think it was the cold. I thought it was just because you were so excited about Hulk Hogan being back in the wrestling that you were screaming so loudly.
Aye. I've got some beer to sell them. Some swill.
They're not saying boo. They're saying boo, Arns.
Boo, Arns. They're saying boo in my heart. That's what they're saying. Of course, yes. Raw is on Netflix if you didn't know.
And yeah, that's just a wee reminder for everyone that Raw's on Netflix.
Because they don't tell you that in the show.
Nah, nobody told us that it was on Netflix, but Raw's on Netflix now. And yeah, don't forget that Raw's on Netflix.
That's it. Beer, of course.
See the one thing with it, right? Sorry, just to labour on this point for a minute. They need to Netflix need to do a better job with the collection that they have.
Yeah.
Like, see, trying to make it like the WWE network, give it like a separate page where you could click on it and then it just gives you everything broken down. Because if I want to go and watch Royal Rumble 2000, I need to actually think about it. I need to go and try and find it. Or I could use the search bar, but who uses search bars these days? But it's just, I think that you've got this huge database of wrestling gold, so give people reason to watch it and give it a wee show, and like you can put a few of them on the main page, but give it a wee section of its own and we'll be happy.
I'm sure it will. The numbers did well in it. It was the top watch show in the top 10, so
it felt like it. Like, see, when it was coming on, because I couldn't sleep because I was so excited. But I watched the first maybe 45 minutes of it, and it felt like I had excitement to see it, and you're seeing everyone else around you, and like blue sky on Twitter, through people on Instagram and stuff. Like, you're seeing people actually excited to watch and not be shamed at watching wrestling. So it was cool. Like,
it's great. Yeah, it's long overdue, a wee bit of buzz, and it's something I'm quite excited to just kind of engage and watch with every week as best I can. But the kids enjoyed it. Even though my wife wasn't too happy about that being on, but I'm like, there's kids in the audience.
Aye.
Don't swear. It's a pastime. It is family entertainment at the end of the day. Even if it is featuring scantily clad people in there, so it's and the women. It's just everybody in between. It's entertainment. That's something for everybody.
That is it. Aye. And Ric Flair has officially retired as well.
But for real this time?
For real.
We'll see.
Pharrell. He is officially, I saw it today. I may be making this up, but I'm sure I saw it that he's officially now done with wrestling actively. So
okay,
hopefully that means he'll die soon, and then we don't have to fucking worry about him doing it again. I kind of feel that Ric Flair, like, it's kind of like, you know, when you're married for such a long time and your partner dies, and then like the one that left behind dies like 2 days later because they've just got nothing else to live for. Like Ric Flair will die without wrestling. Either that or like
with a broken heart.
The alcohol will just sustain him for the rest of his life. He's just like that keeps him alive forever.
Either that or it's going to be an impending Netflix documentary that's going to get him. Anyway, I digress. We have got a lot to talk about. This episode's going to be a meaty one, so strap yourselves in. We're going to be, of course, talking about everything that's coming up this year.
Talking about 2025 as a whole.
As a whole. I mean, last week was all about resolutions. This one is really just pausing and taking a look at the year ahead. But before we get into that, I think we should get some housekeeping out the road. So, of course, for those listening, this is the Pixel Parents Podcast, a weekly podcast by parents of game for those who do the same, where each week we discuss all things gaming, most raising little ones. Tripped up there a wee bit. There we go.
You would have noticed.
And if you want to be part of the podcast, come say hello and share your thoughts with us at pixelparents.bsky.social on Blue Sky, or write to us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. And if you like what you hear and you want to support the show, you can leave a 5-star review and share this podcast online with your friends. Of course, that really helps us out. And thank you to everybody that does join us each and every week. So with that out the way, Scott, what have you been playing this week?
So this will be a quick one for everyone because I have been playing nothing but Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh, yeah.
I'm finished the story of Grand Theft Auto 4. Mm-hmm. I have begun the 100% playthrough of Grand Theft Auto 4.
Madman.
I have also stopped the 100% playthrough of Grand Theft Auto 4.
Sane man.
And today got back on the horse again. So I can't not do it. This is the thing. Like it's the goblin mask just staring at me. It's like, fucking finish it. Like, I'm like, I just can't help myself. I honestly hate every fucking moment that I play it. See, trying to do the insane jumps in that. The cars handle like fucking boats anyway, so it's impossible to do. But I've done it now, so it's fine. So the next thing on the list is to shoot 200 pigeons that are dotted around the map. That's your hidden packages, but I kind of think that that'll be easy enough. Find yourself a wee guide, get a sniper rifle and just go and knock a few of them out. I'm not having to worry about the cars or anything. I can just do what I need to do.
Yeah.
Do you know the best thing that Grand Theft Auto 4 introduced in that whole game was taxis?
Well, the taxi. I liked actually doing the taxi rides and just kind of watching.
No, I didn't. Know? Don't watch it. Just skip every journey. Even in missions, you could do it. Like go and pick up little Jacob. Fine, I'll get a taxi directly to him, steal the taxi, pick him up in it, and then take him where he needs to go.
Yeah.
So it's made the whole process so much faster.
Do you know? Did they do away with that in 5, or is it just maybe it's a feature we just didn't even notice? Something for you to look at when you go to 5.
I don't remember, but I think 5 there's reason to drive around. Like you can listen to Pure Shores the whole time,
smoking and riding.
Fucking phenomenal. Like see the thought of that being the next game on the list. It's like, get me there now. But
I should also add as well that you're going to be playing it in the crisp PS5 version which is unbelievably good looking.
It's still in the cellophane in the house as well, so I can't wait for it. But Grand Theft Auto 4, for all of its flaws, because I'll be talking about it next week, I'm sure, because there's absolutely no way I'm finishing this, all achievements run anytime soon.
Not with the multiplayer stuff.
I'm kind of curious about the multiplayer stuff as well. Like I know you have Grand Theft Auto 4, so you could jump on.
I mean, I've definitely put my time in back in the day,
and we can see how it works. But I'm just there's a wee part of me that's like, if you've come this far, you might as well go the rest of the way. The rest of the trophies that I have to do at the moment aren't like egregiously annoying. I think that the insane stunts, I need to pick up the cars for Stevie and stuff like that. So there's loads of daft wee things that I need to do that I could do. I could knock them out in an afternoon. Do you know what I mean? But it's this multiplayer stuff. That's kind of like the the top of the hill, like the top of the roller coaster. The rest of it's downhill. So we'll see. I mean, I think that if you're going to do it right. And it means that I can then say that I've got all achievements on Grand Theft Auto 4. But it's proven the point to me that I hate doing these things on Xbox, because having the trophies on PlayStation is just a nicer experience.
It is. I can't deny it. I mean, the one thing that I do like about the achievement things, and I'll add emphasis on the one, is now that they've added like raid achievements, because it gives you a nosy as to how many people have done it. Let's see, for things like the Indiana Jones game that's out, and it's like when not a lot of people are making their way to the end of it, and actually you'd be surprised the amount of end game achievements you get, and it's like, I don't think a lot of people actually finish games.
One person,
you know. But so yeah, I think it might be worth you just dip my toe in multiplayer, because it's fun. You know, you open up at the warehouse and you kind of go from there, and it was almost, you know, I love a dead game, right? So it's like, it's just funny just to kind of go back and just take a look. There's something oddly eerie about it.
You know I mean? I'm kind of curious about it. And see, when you go onto like the Reddit threads for Grand Theft Auto 4, there's loads of people that are on there that are doing the same thing, that are like, can someone jump on and just help me with certain things on it? So it's like the community is there for it. It is just doing it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, so we'll see. We'll see if I do it. But as I say, I'm kind of like, if you're going to do it right. And there's a few achievements on there that haven't popped, even though I've done them. So like I was saying to you, you have to get a 180 in darts, and you have to beat your friend at pool. And I've done them both. You even have things in the stat menu to tell you that you've done them, but the trophies haven't popped. So
that's annoying.
I'm kind of like, they better fucking hurry up and pop, because I'm not doing it again. But it's been fun. You know, I can't say that I've enjoyed it, because I've not. You know, I think that the best thing about Grand Theft Auto 4 are the characters in it. It's nothing to do with the world. Like, it's a living, breathing city, and you can see that. Like the garbage, you can see the garbage trucks in the morning going to do their rounds. You see the bank trucks going to the banks and stuff, picking up money. Like, you see the world moving around you, and it's cool. You have to pay £5 at the toll booths every single time. Yeah, but the best thing about it is, you know, Nico's a great character, and he grows as the story goes on.
It definitely does, yeah.
And the cast that are around them kind of facilitate that growth. And, you know, Jimmy Pegarino's an absolute arsehole. So, you know, that's just where we are. It's definitely Grand Theft Auto, but it's kind of then. I'm ready for 5. But 4 is lingering on.
5, it's easy to take for granted just how good 5 is, and especially if you're doing it right after GTA 4, which is very much a moment in time game. You know, from the vibe, from the technology available, to go from all that grey and brown to a full rainbow of colour. And they really did go to town on 5. No wonder it's been about for what, 12 years, 13 years now, or 12 years. And there's a reason why that is probably one of the most successful games of all time. It's not the most, or it's still got a ways to go to catch Minecraft, but it is just awesome. Like, I never get tired going back to GTA 5, and that might make me a basic bitch, as they say, but it's fantastic.
There's a lot there for people, and it's got, you know, the story, the characters. It's got Grand Theft Auto Online if you're into that sort of thing as well. So, you know, there's something there for everyone, and I'm ready to make that jump. But 4 is like clinging to my leg. It's like, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. And I still don't want to do it yet. So I reckon I'll be playing 4. There. I'll be playing 4 for a while.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. I mean, I still love 4, but I accept that it's almost it's the awkward cousin of the series. But you know, everyone has that. You know, I think it would. It's a little bit too serious.
Sorry, just to completely distract everyone from this. My wife just texted me. Minnie ate part of my sock that I put treats in. I thought she would tip the treats out, but instead she ate it. Do you think she'll be okay? My dog's an asshole. Yeah,
so just put your foot out by its backside.
Our shite will be covered in sock.
Oh god!
Like, it'll just come out in the sock.
Oh dearie me. Well, that's dogs for you.
It's not the worst thing she's eaten, so she'll be fine.
Never a dull moment with dogs.
What have you been playing this week?
Me? Well, I'm back in. Obviously, I'm continuing with the Dragon Age Veilguard. last week I was talking about that. I'm really in deep with it again, I'm pleased to say, but I'm squeezing every last ounce out of this game. I'm doing everything I can to not finish it. So I'm like right at the end of it, the main story, but I was like, right, well, let's just do the companion missions. That'll take up a good few hours, and it has. Done them all. I got all the swag. I was speaking to you last night when we were playing online about
Lucanus.
and I thought I can't get this final conversation to trigger. Turns out I just had to do a little bit more faction quests just to get the reputation up.
Okay.
It was like 1 or 2. Took me 10 minutes. And then they finally got that gorgeous swag, including for Rook as well. So we're all geared up, swagged out.
Just fucking do it, man. Just finish the game.
So yeah, I'll probably finish it this evening, to be honest with you.
Done.
But it's...
and you can play Stellar Blade.
Well, I've got my next one lined up, of course, but...
What is the next game on the list?
I'll come to that. Don't you worry.
Man.
I do want to add that we were muggins and bought a PlayStation 5 Pro, which I feel has kind of came and went, and nobody's really talking about it, but I have had this kind of moment of appreciation for the console, just by how good the game looks. Like playing Dragon Age of Veilguard, I just had a moment just looking at it at Vista, and I'm like, this looks absolutely incredible. Like the clarity that you're getting, plus the performance enhancements. It's not an obvious like addition. So you could be playing that in PS5 Pro and not know they've made the enhancements because it's not a mode you can toggle. But man, it looks good. It's just I want to touch on it just to like give some flowers. So,
I thoroughly deserve it. It's a gorgeous game, and it's it's nice being able to make Dreamlight Valley look so good.
Well, I have taken a few photos. I'm probably going to put them up in Blue Sky in the days to come. But I've really, really loved the Veilguard, and I'm pleased it was on our Game of the Year list, which you can listen to. It's a couple of episodes ago. But it's
I know we're not ripping the piss with our Game of the Year lists and leaving them till fucking this week to do it.
I know.
Spreading it out over a whole month,
it is the best thing to do in January, to be honest with you. Like, have a bit of a retrospective and look ahead vibe, I suppose, like we're doing. But I mean, we kept it to as the last minute as possible, I think, as we could keep it. But I mean, if I kept it a little bit longer, I could have squeezed Indiana Jones on there. So I'm regretting that.
Again, if it made the list, this podcast would be no more.
I'm still pushing for you to go back and do that. But I think, the Veilguard reminds me so much of like the BioWare and the pomp, like with Mass Effect. It's the rhythm of it.
I don't feel it. Like, I don't feel the BioWare pomp because obviously I didn't live through that, but I didn't have any interest in that at that point. Like, I feel like my interest in Mass Effect games and like that came later on. Interest in Dragon Age games came this year, but this doesn't feel like a Dragon Age game. I think that's the one thing that if I had any criticisms about it, it doesn't feel like a Dragon Age game. It doesn't have the same DNA that a Dragon Age game does. It has parts of the DNA spliced into it, but at its core, I don't think it is. I think that it lacks something there, but I'm rubbing my fingers, but it lacks a wee thing, but I still think it's a class game. Like, I still think it's brilliant, but I just think it lacks a wee hang.
I think for me, it's how streamlined it feels.
Yeah.
But it might just be where I am right at this point in life. Like, I am appreciating that more.
Yeah.
Because it feels more akin. We said this way back when we first got our hands on it. Like, there's parts of it that reminds me of like God of War.
Yeah, 100%.
And like open world.
I think
standard
you would feel
open world games at points.
I think you would feel that way. See if you played as the warrior, and you would feel even more that it reminds you of God of War because it's almost one for one the same. But I do think I think it was a nice like a palate cleanser. Like I think it's just like a pure chewing gum game where it's like I have no negatives in it. Like I enjoyed my time with it and I enjoyed everything in it, but I still think it's like number 3 in my overall Dragon Age games. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure where I am yet because I want to finish the story.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm pretty high on it. And I've had to take a step back from Balatro this week because I was playing it a bit too much last week, to be honest. Trying to up my time in Marvel Snap again. I'm still playing it every day, but I'm very much, I don't know, man. Like, it's just not hitting for me anymore. Like, I'm so frustrated and just bored at times by the game, but I've sunk so much into it at this point, I can't walk away.
I can't walk away.
But so Balatro's kind of been eating into the mobile time and also on the PS5, but I thought, I'm never going to finish Dragon Age if I just keep going back to Balatro. So I'm teeing up my next game. So I'm leaning still towards Life is Strange. I think that's kind of celebrating the year of the backlog.
And it's kind of like it's a nice thing to move on to. Like it's a different pace.
Yeah, I think you could probably burn through it in like 10 to 12 hours probably, if it's anything like the other ones. And my aim is to free myself ahead of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I might have shot myself in the foot with today, because we were talking beforehand, we've got a date for moving house and it's going to fall within that window. So I should be focusing on other grown-up things that are sitting there
you'll need the
conquering
time.
feudal Japan.
You will need the time for it though. Like you'll need to separate. And you can play it on your Portal.
I can actually, yeah. Long live the Portal. But that's my aim, is just to kind of take a little, I think if I can get Life is Strange out before that,
Aye.
Happy days. And of course, I have committed to your challenge from last week. I have purchased Devil May Cry 5.
Love it.
Special edition, PS5.
Love
so
it.
That's there. I'm thinking, maybe they'll go there. But I'm all set for the annual challenge. Have you got Cyberpunk yet?
No.
I'm going to be on you like a wet trackie.
I am not going to buy Cyberpunk until at least June this year.
It's a good time.
Because
good summer game.
Because I've still got, Grand Theft Auto 4 to finish, Grand Theft Auto 5 to finish, and then I've committed to Red Dead Redemption 2. At some point in that time, Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta's going to come out.
Oh, please.
And that's going to stop, that's going to derail everything. But Cyberpunk will come. I think I'll need like a wee break from these kind of games for a smidge, and then Cyberbunk will come. And then
there's the other side of the challenge.
Yes,
The
Witcher.
3.
I think that's going to be more kind of closer to Christmas this year, I think.
It's a good time.
I think I'll probably, I think 1st of January, 1st of December, that'll be when the Witcher starts.
Yeah, roaming the Skellige Isles, just kind of feeling the vibe, wintry. Yeah, I must admit though, the DLCs, very, very spring friendly, I should add. Excellent. Still to this day, some of the best DLCs ever. And they keep you in whole, but of course, main game first. Yeah. And it's not like
I've not finished the main game.
Yeah, but we should add, you have still played a good bit of the main game. It's not like you've never played it.
I think I've done, like 80% of the whole main story. Like, I think I'm basically there, but we'll get there with it.
Yeah.
And then, that'll be me. I'm not even free of the backlog. I'll just have played
embracing it.
Massive games this year.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm looking at the backlog and there's other games in there that I've played and do want to go back to still. Like,
I've got one that's an absolute disgusting story for you.
Oh, let's hear it then.
Back when it came out, there was a wee game that came out around the same time as, I want to say it's Dragon Age, but I don't think it was. It was something else. It might have been Silent Hill.
Right.
And there was a small game by the name of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero came out.
Oh, man.
I bought that game, and it's still in the cellophane wrapping in my house. Didn't even play it. Haven't played it since. And like, I don't think I will play it. I think it will just stay wrapped for the time being, because when am I going to play it?
Oh, yeah.
And I could play it at any time. Like, it's not as if like
it's a vibe.
I'm not playing it for multiplayer or anything like that. Like, I'm playing it purely to go through the stories and all that again. So, like, I'm going to do it for that, but now is not the time for that.
No,
that comes later.
Absolutely not. I mean,
but that's a disgusting point to raise. Like, backlog. That's
the backlog's out of control.
Horrendous.
Out of control.
This year, I'm committing to not buying any more than 4 games.
Wow. To be fair, if GTA 6 does come out, hashtag it won't, then you could stick to that.
4 games this year, I swear. and I'll make sure that on Blue Sky that it is posted. I will post this after we record this podcast that I am not going to buy any more than 4 games this year.
And when you do buy them, it has to be game 1 of 4, 2 of 4.
Exactly. And then that's it done, because this is the year of economic stability, of frugality, and of backlogity. So we're in for it. This is going to be the Martin Lewis year of gaming, and
do you know what? I don't think it's a bad thing.
I'm living the dream.
I champion it because
let's fucking do it.
There's so much out there. We're probably the world's worst for just kind of jumping out day one, and it's like, okay, it's going to burn through it, and then it's depreciated by day 2.
It's not to say that you can buy it day 1, like buy games that you really, really want day 1, but
that'll still happen.
Aye, but 4 games this year. Metal Gear Solid 5 is Metal Gear Solid fucking 5. Why am I saying 5? Metal Gear Solid 3 is definitely there. Like, that is 1, so there's already 3 left. So,
well,
we'll see.
That's probably as good a point as any for us to move on to our main topic this week, which, of course, is our big 2025 gaming preview, which is hype and prediction, Scott.
Good.
So, just going to take a wee look ahead at the games and the consoles and the moments that we think is going to create the biggest buzz, the biggest hype, the biggest memorable moments of 2025.
Memories.
So that we don't go off on a tangent, right? I've suggest a little structure here, okay? So I think we're just going to go through...
How dare you?
I know, terrible. I think what we'll do is we're going to go through I've got a general roundup of big moments.
Okay.
Quick stuff, right? Stuff that's happening this year. Hardware, software, and then of course we're going to be ending things on a spicy note with our big predictions for this year, where we get to just go crazy, right? Bloodborne 2. So we're taking a look through the year, okay, at what's actually coming now. Of course, February is an absolute shit show of like so many massive games that are coming out, which we will get to. But it's a busy old time. You got like Kingdom Come Deliverance, Avowed, and stuff like that all coming out. I think the Like a Dragon,
that's
Pirates of the Caribbean, Hawaii or something's coming out. You got Pokemon Day in February as well, where we should probably get more information on Legends ZA.
Za, man.
Za, nothing but the Za. Of course, then after that, I'm looking forward, we've got a little anniversary that's coming up this year, which I didn't realise until I started reading up. This is later on. Super Mario's 40th anniversary this year, Scott.
He's 40 now. Time to retire.
Wouldn't that be a fantastic time to release a brand new 3D game in the series to celebrate the 40th anniversary?
No, I want a 2D platformer.
It might also, maybe you get both.
Remake Super Mario World.
Maybe you get both.
Remake Super Mario World now.
Honestly, you know what Nintendo are like? They're the masters of milking that shit. And of course, there's other things we can expect all the way through it. Summer Game Fest, and as well in a multimedia or on the screen, you got things like the Minecraft movie, which we're buzzing for. Last of Us Season 2 as well.
The Minecraft movie?
Yeah.
They actually showed a trailer for that the other day when I went to see Mufasa with the wee one. And I'm happy to say that it looks just as bad as it did in the first trailer. But it looked a bit more coherent with this one. So
yeah, listen, I actually still think that might be a Jumanji type surprise, as in like this might be a 6 out of 10.
Jason Momoa's in it, so that's how you know it's shit.
Oh god, absolute franchise pain. Yes. But anyway, that's kind of some of the big moments out the road. So we're going to start with the hardware now. I don't know, right? This is actually, I'm quite excited, right? Because we've actually got an exclusive thing to reveal on the podcast for the first time ever.
Oh my god, do we have the Switch 2?
Pixel Parent, no. It's just the Switch 2 is coming out this year. Did you know that? That's the exclusive.
I've got another exclusive for you as well.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that Raw's on Netflix?
It is indeed. It is indeed. But of course, the massive, humongous elephant in the room is when the Switch 2 is going to land. Now, rumours are circulating it's going to be April of this year.
Saw that.
But I mean, how much can we say at this point? It feels like every second of every day we're getting something out about it.
That's what I've been saying. It's
the accessories market have let them down.
Every single time that Bono snaps his fingers, another Switch rumor comes out. It's ridiculous at this point. Like, Nintendo are just now, like, they're just laughing at us. They're just like, fucking enjoy this. Just enjoy. You're ruining it for yourself. Every single time a leak comes out, they just put the clock back 1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute to leak, 1 minute to release, and then we'll never get this bloody thing now.
I think that obviously in terms of this year, it's going to be huge because it's a new Nintendo console. That I'm a little bit apprehensive because it's a Switch 2 as we're expecting it.
Yeah.
So it's just almost like it's effectively like an iteration. You could have got away with calling like a Switch Pro. From what we've seen, that it's all but confirmed in terms of the leaked specs and design of it. More of the same, quality of life improvements. It's not going to have that. I remember the original Switch reveal and it felt like, oh yeah, like I can see how this is the next one off the Wii U, but it felt new and fresh, and it's like, oh my god, they're on a rooftop playing together with two wee snidey controllers. That's great. But it felt exciting. This one, I think they might run the risk of it just being like, how do you differentiate that from a normal Switch when, again, that age-old example when someone like ourselves who isn't into gaming goes into a shop and it's like, I want the Switch. It's like, do you want that? Do you want that? And what's the difference? That one screen's a bit better. That one has a better GPU. You're talking Swahili to me, mate. What one's got all the Mario games on it? I want the Switch one. Now, but we know that they're quite happy for that. Like they're not putting the Switch 2 to immediately replace this. And if the backwards compatibility stuff is true as well, this might feel more of a pro style iteration rather than a brand new generation for Nintendo. But I hope that I'm wrong. I hope they have something in there that's like, well, every time you press the A button, it punches you in the face or something like that. Just
it's I think people are saying because there's a C button on it.
Yeah.
So I think people are saying that might like cast to the dock, so you don't have to dock it.
Oh, that'd be good.
So you can cast directly to the TV. I heard that. I'm sure there's something like Nintendo are the innovators of, hardware, I'd say. So, I mean, I would say that no one else would. So,
all the exclusive.
It's definitely something that I don't think you can have this console coming out and then not do something different.
Yeah.
I think we come to expect that from Nintendo. What would be interesting is if it does come out and it is just, it is a Switch, but better. How do people react to that? Like, when we have the PlayStation 5 Pro there, it's a PS5, but it's better. Like, how do we look at that as a society? I don't know, but Nintendo seem to get an easier ride of these things.
They do. It's a very different market and it's a much more loyal fan base, and
we do have the joy of the fact that the Switch is 1 million years old now. So any updates on that are going to be welcome. So,
well,
and what happens to the games? Like, what happens does Tears of the Kingdom automatically get boosted by this?
Well, that would be an interesting thing
that
they could add, because even things like Pokemon Scarlet, I'd love to play that at a much better performance level. But it remains to be seen. And what we're going to do is we go through each of these these like moments in the year.
Okay.
I'm just wanting to do a little hype check out of 10. So,
okay.
So for instance, on the Switch 2, I'd say my hype level is about 7 out of 10 for this. What about yourself?
It depends when you ask me.
Well, we know
this morning. This morning when I saw some of the leaked stuff from it, I was like 8 or 9, like pure ramping up. But right now, I'm probably at like a 5. Like I'm not. Yeah. I'm kind of like I'm not really arsed about it. But when I see the thing, I'm going to be like, oh yeah! Like, I'll literally shit into my hands and clap.
Yeah. Oh man! In terms of that, outside of the big hardware things of note for us, I know there's. I'm not really wanting to linger on rumour and speculation because that's better for predictions.
Okay.
So it's like I'm not going to sit and say, "Oh, PlayStation's going to announce a Vita 2," when it's going to be just as bad as the first one. So it's going to be. I'm just going to stick to that. So we'll move on to the software side of things, the real meat next to the potatoes.
What we're all here for.
So, of course, speaking of giant elephants in the room, 2025. It's all about GTA 6, I have to say. Like right now, it's single-handedly keeping other games at bay. An absolute gargantuan hit waiting to happen. They want something like, they're predicting like 3 billion in its first month or something like that.
Not the first year?
The first year. Whatever it is.
If it's the first month, I mean, fucking hell.
Good God. they're probably raising the price of it. Please
saying
don't do
that
that.
pre-orders are 1 billion. Like,
no, I mean, this is the one. This is where everybody shows up.
Comes to play.
Whether people will go out and buy consoles for that.
Yeah.
And you'll see that's when PS5 Pro sales will jump and all the rest of it. 'Cause it's like, is that the best? I want the best. Let's go for it.
Yeah, 100%.
And they will just have GTA on it for years and years. And they'll probably, all the people are still playing online, transitioning over. I went back to watch the trailer for it, and, I absolutely can't wait for it. And the same as everybody else. I think I adore the wacky world of GTA. The games are so special and so seminal to all of us for so many different reasons. But the fact that this has taken so long to get here, it does feel like a moment that we don't really get that often in gaming. My big hope for it is that they find a way to skewer Trump's America. Like, that's the challenge. Because GTA has always been a critique and a satire of America at that time. That's what it does best. It's always been kind of like a warped mirror of American culture at whatever period it's set in. But I do wonder, how do you successfully take the piss out of what is a very stupid period of time in history? So,
and it's also going to have a portion of those fucking morons playing it as well. It's
exactly.
Like, I'm not like that. I'm really not like that. Like, yeah,
that's it. I mean, when this game comes out, we know there's going to be a tidal wave of piss about it, and that's what I want. That's how you know it's one, because you're going to get the usual stuff. It's like, oh, GTA is going woke and all that because there's a female protagonist, even though there's two protagonists, and it's going to have all that stuff in there. The world will stand still regardless, and I don't think it's going to be a massive launch point for grifters, because they won't be able to cut through the general hype for this game.
I think that is what's going to overtake, is that the excitement and hype for the game is just going to, sweep through all the absolute fucking idiots that want to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
You're right though. It feels like the gaming industry needs this. Like, in general speaking, like, it needs it from the point of view where we need to know when we're going to release other games that are not next to it, but it also, as the industry itself, it feels like this is the moment where these are the reasons why we buy these consoles. Like, the Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be the reason why a PlayStation 5 Pro is necessary. Like, why you go out and buy the next generation of Xbox. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really going to make that difference. And then, jobs, other people in the industry. It's going to be, honestly, I think it's more than just the game at this point.
Yeah.
And I think that as an industry, we're not patient with the fact that games can sometimes take longer to develop. Like, I'm guilty of it myself. Like, why have they not released Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta now?
Yeah.
But with Grand Theft Auto, it's very much let them cook.
Yeah.
And the longer it takes to let them cook, it's always better, Like, you let it simmer for longer. So with Assassin's Creed Shadows, for example, if they took another 6 months, it's only going to be better for it. But the industry wouldn't let that happen with Assassin's Creed. Like, these games are not allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's like the sentiment behind that can be selective.
And we're talking about Grand Theft Auto potentially not making 2025.
I mean, it won't.
But as a whole industry, everyone's fine with that. Like, it's like disappointed, but Rockstar get away with it.
They do,
because they've proven time and time again that it's good for it. So I think there has to be more of that. It's like, just let companies take their time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. GTA 6 could still come out in November and still hit this year. We have to talk about it this year because that is the date that they've stated, and nothing official's come out. But I still think that they've got previous on this, where they always announce it, they leave it for donkeys, they announce it again, so they kind of relaunch it, and they never ever want less than 9 to 12 months to market this to really. It's a proven success formula for them, but not that it needs that type of marketing like running, but I just feel that they are miles out, and with the impact that the industry's feeling from a development perspective, they've not been immune to it.
Yeah.
And COVID would have set this game back a couple of years easy.
The thing for me is that obviously they released that trailer off the back of everything that leaked and everything, right? Mm-hmm. But they didn't have to say 2025.
They didn't, no.
Like they could have just said.
Well, they might have from an investor's perspective.
But you could have just said, Grand Theft Auto 6 and then that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like coming soon or something like that. But you could have just left it at that. Mm-hmm. So I think the fact that they've put 2025 on there, I know there's previous, right? That's fine. But in my head, I'm like, of course it's not going to make 2025.
Yeah.
But the heart believes. So
they're either going to, like, the next trailer, I think I said this last week, if we don't get that this month, I think it's going to get delayed.
Aye.
And
maybe they're just waiting for Switch 2. So they can
waiting for Switch 2. It wouldn't surprise me if Rockstar did that just to be arseholes. To be like, here's the Switch 2 announcement, and then let them have their flowers for 36 hours. It's like shadow drop a GTA 6 trailer out of nowhere.
On the Switch 2 advertisements, it's just a wee snippet, but it's not Grand Theft Auto 6, it's Grand Theft Auto 5, and you can play that on the Switch 2.
They probably will. They probably will.
And you'd buy it? You'd fucking buy it?
Because I think the Switch 2 does need like those big heavy hitting third party games. I want to add though, it's like what's interesting is Rockstar, like the games they make are immaculate, albeit not through the best of practices. What I find strange, and it's a game you're about to go play, it's like the further we get away from Red Dead Redemption 2, it feels like the more shade that game gets. And I'm like, that game is like unbelievable achievement.
Mm-hmm.
And when I played it, I know people say, it's just a cowboy simulator. It's like, but it's still just a basic action game.
Yeah.
All it does is make you walk a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a sprint jog button. I don't know.
It's Arthur. Arthur makes that game. Like, that man is just like
unbelievable.
Goosebumps on the arm. Do you know what I mean? Like it's you know what I mean? Like it's incredible. So it's just playing that game for the first time was truly an experience that I'll never get back.
Well, we should crack on. We'll probably get a little bit more quick fire as things go, because I did not realise how long we've been going for already. But next on the list, 14th of February. In fact, before I do, hype level on GTA 6 out of 10.
Oh, 11.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. 11 out of 10.
Shit my ass for it.
Absolutely the most anticipated, I think. Yeah. But speaking of which, 14th of February, we have got Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? Now, I know I'm the Assassin's Creed apologist. That's a name for the next one, by the way.
Ooh.
Assassin's Creed apologist. So I'm buzzing to have another huge world to get in. Personally, I love the kind of RPG style of it. The setting and protagonists are doing it for me. No grift here. And I'm hoping, as you said, the extra time pays off for me. Hype level, I'm at a 10 for that, but I am completely not the person to really be taking points from on that. So I'd be intrigued to get your thoughts. I mean, I don't think you're going to play this game.
I'm not. I'm probably as close to a 1 as I'll ever be.
Yeah.
And it's a game that, with the setting that it has, with the characters that it has, I should be fucking on board with it. But the fact that it's an Assassin's Creed game just turned me off immediately.
Would a positive critical buzz around that change up, or even make you an eyebrow go?
Absolutely not.
No,
there is nothing. I've been burned too many times by these games that I never want to go back to them. But there is genuinely no world that exists that I potentially would want to play this. But I'm also, it's going to be in my predictions for this year, so I'll save it for it.
Well, I've got one as well.
But I do think that can I do the prediction now or will I wait?
Let's wait. Let's keep it.
Okay. Hold on to your butts. But yeah, I'm nowhere near even going to look at this game at all.
Well, that's good. Polar opposites then. I think it's just one of those ones where I have waited for this game for 5 years now, and we all have our series, don't we? But I'm sure you're hyped for me, at least. That's probably the best way to put it.
I don't want you to play it.
I hope it's pish. So next on the 18th of February, because there's lots coming here, Avowed. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have my first guaranteed addition to my backlog this year. Well done, Avowed. Just with Game Pass. I'm just looking forward to see what Obsidian do and like expanding on this Pillars of Eternity universe. Me, hype level, but 6 out of 10 for me personally. If it wasn't in Game Pass, I probably wouldn't play it. So,
exactly the same as me. I will play it for the podcast because, you know me, I do nothing but appease the fans on this. I like Pillars of Eternity 1. I've maybe played it for about 6 hours and fallen off because I don't understand them, but it's maybe a game now I could get back into. I've always been really interested in Pillars of Eternity 2, but Avowed first person completely turns me off immediately. You know what I'm like? Fucking hate it. But again, there's maybe something there for me. So I know it's previewed well, and I know that there's something there, so I might have a look at it just to see kind of what's going on with it, but I don't think I'll finish it.
I'm hoping that it sticks to that kind of more Elder Scrolls type classic RPG, Western RPG experience.
I hope it goes a wee bit wackier with it.
We never know. It might. I mean, it has to do something to stand apart. It can't just be a clone, but Obsidian have good pedigree coming into this. I think I really do hope that it's actually a really big hit, like a good 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 experience for Game Pass and Xbox. So yeah, we'll see. But we'll move on. Speaking of Game Pass, another one here on the 27th of March, Atomfall. I thought we'd add this on here, which is
Fallout in England.
Fallout in England, yeah. The UK setting, giving them Fallout vibes. Just give me that. I think it's another backlog entry for me, to be honest with you, just with everything that'll be happening in life. I should add, from the 14th of February when Shadows come out and in between the house move, I'm going to be playing that game for months. I will platinum this game, right? And that's what you're going to hear. So just a heads up.
I'll break up the monotony.
That's it. That's what you're here for. You can tell us what Atomfall's like on launch. For me, again, it's another 6 out of 10 hype level for me.
God, I didn't know. I couldn't remember what it was until you said the name. So take from that what you will.
Well, let's raise the thermometer a little bit because we're not going to go through every game that's announced this year. It's just more like the ones that's on the radars.
Yeah, that's it.
This one, which we'll linger on, no doubt, it's a little game. We don't have a date for it yet. It's called Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Scott.
Oh, fucking hell.
One of the big cards up Sony's sleeve. Now, I've got my thoughts, but you kick things off on this one.
Oh, God. It's Hideo Kojima, so you know it's going to be weird. It's already looking weird. It definitely still looks like Death Stranding, and I think that, you know, as the apologist for Death Stranding of this podcast, I think that we're ready for another one. I think that the difference in the original Death Stranding to the director's cut, they are complete polar opposites. It's like night and day because the director's cut does so much to help you in terms of the way it changes the game, and I think that 2 will innovate on that even more. And, you know, Hideo Kojima's never made a bad number 2.
That's true.
And I hear his poos are always the same.
I was going to say, his mum and dad might say that as well.
So he's got previous there, but I do think that my hype level for it, I'm probably, you know, I've not seen enough to get excited about it yet. I reckon that I'm probably in the regions of like 6, 7.
Wow.
But the minute I see gameplay, like proper gameplay for it, I'll shit everywhere and I'll be on there 10 because you know what I'm like. Like,
yeah,
I love a middling game on Hideo Kojima's time. The only thing I ask for this game is give me the opportunity and the place to listen to music as I walk. Like Death Stranding 2, the original Death Stranding would have been 100 times better if you had like an iPod and you could listen to music as you're doing it.
Even like a Spotify link or something like that, it could still be staged as an iPod.
It's just put it on the... You've got the thing there for it. Like, you've got the Cupid for it, so it's there. But getting to Death Stranding lore now. But I reckon there's something there. You know, there's a wee tingling of hype within me. It just has to be stoked, and then I'll be ready for it.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I thought your hype level on the hype-ometer, whatever we're calling it, would have been higher, because I actually think, surprisingly, I've put down a higher hype level for you for that. But
what did you think?
I think that this game I'm with you. I think it needs to do, and it will do, what all sequels do, which is up the ante,
Yeah.
the stakes, and just add more to it. Give us more to do, and lift it genuinely from being a walking simulator with weird ghosts. So it's like, I feel like this game, of course, will be adored by Kojima fans, right? It's a bit like me with Assassin's Creed in a sense, but I suppose joking aside, I will give a critical assessment of Assassin's Creed. But I think the fans will look past the flaws, which is there, even if it's minced. But for me, I really need Kojima to blow me away with this, or he's going to lose some aura, which is why I am hyped for it, because I'm like, backs against the wall, mate. I'm worried that it may be a manifestation of Kojima's style era.
Mm-hmm.
I want substance era Kojima back. I'm rooting for this comeback. I feel that he's got this up his sleeve. Like, if you think about the context in which Death Stranding was made, when he's setting up Kojima Productions, and it's really like he's doing something very different.
It's like an indie game with a budget. You know what I mean?
It was, and now this feels a lot more AAA Kojima that we know. What I just want them to get away from, the thing that I don't want to see in this game, is like a Jeff Keighley and all of the pals that he goes out for lunch with. It's like, in-jokes are such, or in-crowd vibes are such a turn-off in general. I don't want that. It feels like a gaming equivalent of LinkedIn or something like that. We're all just there blowing smoke up each other's arse. And it's like, I don't want that. I want him to do something wacky and create new characters from his weird and brilliant mind that have a little bit more creative names around it.
No, that's part of the fun with it, though, is that you've got like Dead Man and all that. Like,
that's what I mean. Like, I want it to be like more of that and less just like, oh look, there's another person that I know that they've just given a random name to it. I don't want that. I want the cool designs. I want the cool vibes about it. You know,
I think you are seeing it though. Like in the trailers we've seen already. Like you've got the weird puppet guy.
Yeah, well that's what I mean. Yeah,
and you've got like, you know, Fragile looks a bit different. You've got, what do you call her? Oh, blonde-haired girl that's in movies.
Dakota
Fanning. You've got her, like she's got something there. You've got George Miller, he's there as well.
Yep.
Looks like he's, you know, in general in Nazi Germany, like for some reason, like weird outfits. So, you know, the character designs and stuff are there. I think I don't really know what I expect from it though. That's the thing. Like, I don't know.
A new crease. That's all. I mean, just it doesn't need to change it. It's just add another little crease, another little layer.
From what we know about it, it's obviously you're walking across as like New Mexico or something like that. Like you're walking across a different area, so that's cool. And we're going to have different biomes and stuff to walk through.
Yeah,
I just think that
could be enough.
That will be enough to satiate enough people. And satiate is a great word for it, but I think that. Yeah, I think there just has to be more to it. And for me, I've just not seen enough of it yet. Like
you're absolutely right. I mean, we can't judge it. I think it's just purely by gut feeling. For me, my hype level, though, with all that said, is 8 out of 10 because I'm betting on the comeback.
Yeah, I think
I want to get excited about Kojima again because he's been a pain in the ass the past few years. So,
and I think he needs this to hit because he's obviously got OD coming out on Xbox and he's got this Fizzant for Sony. So, like, if this was to completely bomb, then the run up for OD and Fizzant's going to be like, oh no, can he do it?
Yeah. Whereas
if this was to fucking knock it out the park, you know, he's there for it. So
excellent.
So I'm ask me tomorrow, I'll be different. Do you know what I mean? That's
it'll fluctuate.
Aye.
We've got a few other ones here. I mean, you can even just give me the hype level here. But Metroid Prime 4, which is TBC.
1.
I'm at an 8 on that.
Yep.
I've got next one. We'll probably linger on this for a wee bit. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I mean, Christ, that's
if that game is not my game of the year next year, turn this podcast off because
it looks sensational.
I am
10 out of 10.
Metal Gear
11 out of 10.
Solid 3 is my favourite game of all time, and we all know this. You should know this now, listener. You, but I fucking adore Metal Gear Solid 3, and seeing this game in a new light. And this engine, you know, it's just ridiculous. So, I'm here for it. And then I just want to tease at the end. wee flash of Raiden, because you're going to have to make his face for Rykov in 3, so bring Raiden back.
I mean, I hope and I expect this to absolutely to be on the level of greater than what the reception was to Silent Hill 2 remake.
Aye. And I think we're seeing it already. Like, people are excited for it.
Yeah.
And it's not Bloober Team, it's, what do you call them?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh God, I can't mind their name, but it's this other team. So it's not actually Konami. It's been done out with Konami. So I hope that this is the spark that lights, other remakes from Metal Gear Solid games, because having those tied into those consoles and played on, master collections and stuff like that is great, but having them updated on new systems is even better.
I think they're putting in the TLC it needs for it to really blow us away, and that's definitely going to be a highlight of the year. Absolutely. Moving on, we've got Ghost of Yotei, which is due out this year as well, so I forgot about. I'm really excited for this game. I have only seen the teaser.
Yep.
My height level is about a 9 out of 10 for that, I would say, because it's going to do what it says in the tin. And I loved the role of Ghost of Tsushima. I love the twist they're taking with this and pushing it forward in a different way to give us a sequel, as opposed to let's just go back to Jin Sakai and just follow him. He's still part of it and a legacy.
Give me Jin Sakai.
Yeah, it's kind of like they've taken the step forward, which some would argue that God of War Ragnarok probably should have done.
Yeah,
but
I don't think you could have had. I don't think you could have had Atreus lead that game. Like,
could you imagine how funny it would have been?
Yeah, like you get to that point where you start to fight Thor, and Thor actually kills you, and then it's just like
one hit.
Atreus is there. I'm kind of on par, if not a wee bit less. Like, I think that this year will tell how my hype increases for it. I think the Ghost of Tsushima was not a surprise to say, but it was surprising in terms of how well it did. Like, from the previews and stuff, in that first scene where you see him walk down to those two guys and just takes them out straight away, it's like, holy fuck, this is class, and this is just all me. Like, that's me in a nutshell. Whereas with this, it is just, we've seen a teaser for it, so it's hard to get excited about it. But if it does half of what Ghost of Tsushima does, and if it gives us even just a smidgen, a small taste of what Jin Sakai done after. So, like, there's stories throughout, and there's wee bits throughout that kind of talk of tales of the Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that. You hear it, and you hear it in passing and stuff. Like, not even play it. You hear people talk about it. It's like in Moana, where they talk about, all the different things that happened that Maui done and stuff like that. It's just That's like, true. It just creates this whole, this rich tapestry of what Jin Sakai done, and that's the reason why the Ghost still exists. I think that if it does anything on that level, it's going to be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a looker. That's the one thing you can say about it. It's going to flex the muscle that the PlayStation 5 Pro has to flex. So
that's a game that you show your pals, isn't it? Like,
Mum, come in.
Have a look at this. I'll move on. So this one I know you'll be mega hyped for, Fable, which is apparently due this year.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Me, 7 out of 10.
I'll play it, but I have no doubt in my mind that I won't like it.
Yeah, well, I would love for you to be pleasantly surprised with it.
I hope so, because
really would.
That's the best surprise to be.
I think there's been enough time passed there. I'm really intrigued to see what they do and what they've cooked up.
Yeah. I think for me, with the time though, it's kind of on the opposite spectrum as to Grand Theft Auto, whereas Grand Theft Auto feels like it's been cooking that whole time, whereas Fable kind of feels that they forgot to put the oven on and you've gone back and it's not quite cooked yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like
pizza dough's a bit
the middle of the pizza isn't cooked yet. But it's not for me, so like, people will like it.
Got a few other ones here. Got Doom the Dark Ages. Me, 9 out of 10, because I loved Eternal.
Will you still love it even though it's going to be different?
Oh, hell yes.
Like the mobility and stuff like that?
I can't describe in words properly just how much adrenaline Doom gives me, just in general. And even the new ones, like, it is just, it's just such a fantastic metal simulator. Like, that's all I want. And regardless of whatever coat of paint they want on it, few games deliver that sensation. And yeah, I'm all in for that. I'm probably
6, 5, 6.
Yeah.
I'm not the Doom man, surprisingly.
The
so
Doom-mongerer.
the Doom mongerer, that's me, but not Doom guy. So I'll appreciate it for what it is. I think that there's a place in the world where I probably would have enjoyed Doom, but not this time.
We've got a few other ones here. You can just hit me with numbers now because I know we're getting tight for time. But South of Midnight, I've put 6 out of 10 for this week. I'm intrigued by it. Pleasantly intrigued.
Yeah.
Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra.
Fuck, if it comes out. 2.
But naturally I put 8.
Of course.
Because it's Marvel. Borderlands 4.
A number less than 0. Fuck Randy Pitchford.
I know. I've tried to be fair and I've put a 2 because I really did want to put 0. But I mean, man, the taste of that film ain't out my mouth yet. And it's just like, the trailer for 4. Why?
Yeah, and also,
just why?
Fuck Randy Pitchford.
Yeah,
again.
That as well. Interesting one here. Elden Ring Night Rain.
Oh,
this
is in my predictions.
I'm going to hit you with a number, Scott. 4.
Personally, you're a 4.
I'm a 4.
Personally, I'm probably gearing towards a 6 for it, but I do have a prediction about it.
Okay, I'll look forward to hearing that one. Judas.
0.
Really?
Until I see something about it.
I'm at a 9 for this one.
I think it looked cool in that trailer, but unless I see more about it, then I won't get excited because I've forgotten about it.
No, I'm at a 9. Like, I'm so buzzing for that.
Get a point. No.
Again, it's just a hype level. Just a hype. It's not that these could all be absolute flops. Mafia, The Old Country.
5?
I'm at a 6 myself.
Have we seen gameplay for it?
No, it's just a tone piece.
Mm-hmm.
But I think from what I saw, and what I remember from Mafia 3, which had a fantastic story, but wasn't great execution-wise in terms of gameplay. At least I thought that. I'm hoping that they can at least up the gameplay, but Mafia always feels a little bit wooden and stiff to play.
I played 1 and 2. I got a platinum for 1 and 2 recently, and it was like,
Jesus.
2 is a fucking nightmare, but 1 was actually pretty good. Like, 1 was a great game, so if they can do even half of what that aimed to set out to do, you've got something there. And I think that the time and the setting of it's actually really fucking interesting. So
it really is.
They're doing something that you wouldn't really expect from it. So I think that there could be something there. So
I'm hoping so. Because if they do that,
I'm actually watching The Godfather recently, so I think that's the reason why I'm excited about it. I'm like,
next we've got The Outer Worlds 2.
1.
I've put a 5 myself because I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued, but the first game really didn't pull me in the way that I expected it to.
Yeah.
I mean, I must have put about 20 hours or something into it, but I did fall off after that because it just felt, I don't know, it felt a bit brittle for me. But then to finish off the games I think of note, Hades 2, which I'm just expecting to come out this year in full release. For me, that is definitely an 11.
11 out of 10. Aye. I've actually not seen anything about it. Like, that game could might as well just not exist because I've literally not seen one thing about it.
Well, there was the early access wave,
but even with that, even with that, you would think that I would have seen something.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. So I'm quite interested about that. But it's Hades, man. Like, that game was like crack when it came out. So
we're not ready.
It's fucking good. Good ass shit.
Imagine playing that in the Portal or something. Or if you had a Steam Deck.
Switch 2.
Oh, there you go. I had the first Hades on Switch and it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely incredible. But of course, that kind of sums up all the software parts, right?
I think it's quite funny that our hype levels for the games are completely polar opposite.
Yep.
But it shows that the games we're excited for, it shows how different our tastes are in terms of, you're into such, like, you're into, like, it's quite funny. There's just like this.
That's a good thing. Because it's a very subjective thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's big things like GTA 6 and that where we can all, as a community,
all enjoy it.
Get hyped. And that's what's special about it because, nobody's a bigger GTA fan than anybody else. We're all, like, out our minds hyped for this together, sharing that moment. There's nothing like the launch of a Grand Theft Auto game.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, the amount of sick notes and holidays taken on those days after launch is going to be incredible.
It's going to be funny to see if there's any sort of reports to how many people put in holidays when it gets announced. Like, the day it gets announced and the day it's going to release.
No,
how many
man.
holidays I put in for it.
I mean, I'd be tempted to take the day off if it actually comes out, but I am not going to take the day of release off because I've been bummed.
Just go and buy it.
I know, but
Or buy it digitally, and then you've got it the night before.
I think I might. Actually, in fact, digitally would be good because I don't have to get up off the couch to change it about. Yeah, to hell with disk drives. Even though we went out and got one for the Pro. But apparently, something that size might end up being in 2 discs. I mean, look what Rebirth was like, you know what I mean?
True.
So, who knows? But we're getting to the real juice now. The big predictions for this year, Scott.
Okay.
The big ones. Now, of course, only tasty ones, please. And of course, I think we should maybe add some gentleman's betting to some of these predictions, i.e., if it does or doesn't happen, somebody buys the other person something stupid.
Okay.
Like a pair of socks for your wife. No, or a pizza or a succulent Chinese meal.
Succulent Chinese meal. This is Democracy Manifest.
That is indeed. So, here's an easy one to kick off, right, before you get started.
We're doing one each.
Aye, take it on time. First one is an easy one. GTA 6 will get delayed to spring 2026 before summer 2025. So it'll happen before June.
Summer. Cool. I think that's fair enough, aye.
Okay, I'm just going to make these statements.
Yeah.
I'm going to just raise the stakes to see which one breaks you. Let's go.
Okay. I think this will be the year that we get Halo on PS5.
Ooh, I like that one. That is tasty. That's definitely got some seasoning on it. I like that. I like that.
Add a little spice.
Here's one for you, right? Switch 2 will be £350 and it will launch with a new 3D Mario game, Metroid Prime 4, and a new Zelda game will be announced, one that is the next mainline entry following Tears of the Kingdom. That's all one. All those things are going to happen.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Nothing. These are tasty.
I agree that they're tasty.
What part do you disagree with most? Is it
Metroid.
The Zelda, Metroid, or the 350?
Metroid and Zelda.
The 350.
I don't think it'll be 350. I think you're probably looking closer to 400. I think that new 3D Mario is a lock because you couldn't.
You just couldn't.
Aye. I think that Metroid, I don't think it'll launch with it.
See,
I think it would be stupid not to.
I think that's what's been holding it up.
I think it would be stupid not to launch it with it, but I cannot see it. And Zelda seems like a fucking far away. Like I think they've even said that they're going to move away from the kind of current.
They are. They finished that, so it's a totally new strain.
I don't know. I'd love it. I mean, I'd love it. Anything that carries on that Tears of the Kingdom vibe, fucking throw it into me. But I just don't see it. I think you're going to get something like 3D Mario. I don't even know what other games you would release with it. Like
Mario Kart 9.
Mario Kart 9. A new
GTA
Animal
5.
Crossing maybe.
Oh,
I think I'd probably be closer to that, to be honest with you. I think that there's been an Animal Crossing gestating in there.
Yeah, I do like that. It's been 5 years since then. That is good. Although it was a big gaps between the games anyway.
But yeah, I think that you would be daft not to. One of the system sellers, do you know what I mean? Like back in COVID time.
Unreal, good
The
times.
world needs it, especially Trump presidency. Okay, kind of keeping into the same tone that I had with the Halo on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be the year that we see a PlayStation title on Xbox.
Oh, do you have one to specify?
Horizon.
Yes.
if not that, you'll have God of War on Xbox.
Wow. I mean, that would be sensational.
I think that they're showing the desire to put it on things like PC and stuff as well. So I think it would be stupid not to. And I think that I just think it's right. Like you've got Death Stranding and stuff like that coming out on Xbox now, and that was a PlayStation title. So
yeah, timed exclusive, wasn't it? But
So,
here's
there
one
you
for
go.
you, right? Here's one for you. Very tasty. So Xbox will announce a new console this year.
Yep.
To replace the Series S, not a Pro style update for the Series X. So that's my prediction. I don't think it's going to be, here's a more meaty, powerful, heavy metal thing that's better than the Series X, I think they're going to announce a console that's a
Here's
half step
something.
for the
Here's
Series
something
S.
that
Because developers
hate the Series S.
It's pulling them back, and I think that they're going to be like that. Let's do a half step on that one. Series X is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And I think they see more, because Series S sells very well, I think it'd be quite a shrewd move.
Mhm.
That's my prediction.
That makes sense. Okay.
I've got I'm looking at my list here, and they're going up in ludicrous and tastiness as well. So I'm expecting the same.
I think that Assassin's Creed Shadows
Mhm.
will be the sort of the dying throes of Ubisoft as we know it. I think that Ubisoft in its current form will cease to exist by 2026.
I'm going to piggyback with one I've wrote down here, which is Ubisoft will sell to Tencent after Assassin's Creed Shadows sales disappoint, despite the game actually being a return to form. That's what I've wrote down.
I've kind of gone down a different path. I think Tencent is the likely destination.
Yeah,
but I don't think Assassin's Creed Shadows will hit at all.
I don't think it's going to hit commercially.
I don't think it'll hit
purely because
critically either, though. Like I think that taking the rose tinted glasses off, I think
you're right, because it's an easy horse to beat.
Yeah,
it's an easy horse to beat.
It's been delayed. It's Ubisoft.
It's already 6 points off.
It's female protagonist. Some people will not enjoy.
I can see the thumbnails.
Black protagonist.
I can see the thumbnails.
Exactly. So I think that this will be, I spoke about it the other week with the kind of last roll of the dice, just to kind of get your thoughts on it. And I think that this is, last chance saloon for Ubisoft. And how that translates into the future, I'm not 100% sure of. I think that Tencent are a bad place for it to go.
Yes.
I don't think it's the right place. I think that in another world, an Xbox or a Sony would do right to pick up like a Splinter Cell, or to pick up, Assassin's Creed, because it's a huge, fucking huge series. But that's kind of my thoughts on that. I mean,
that kind of ties back to what I was saying last week when you asked me that. And it's like, I just think that regardless of how good this game is, it does feel like it is that last roll of the dice.
I don't think we'll see another Assassin's Creed game after this.
I don't know. As I said that last week, we won't get one like this at least. And they'll be expecting this to sell like 30 plus million or something ludicrous within the first year. It's not going to do that.
Nah.
So I feel like it's going to set up to fail a little bit. I hope I'm wrong.
No, I'm the same,
because it does feel like
it's...
Ubisoft are kind of positioning, like the Yves Guillemot is kind of positioning themselves to exit that. Hence why they've made these changes to not go full guns blazing, which they would do in the past.
Yeah,
they very much have a throw enough shit at the wall and see what sticks attitude. Anyway, my next one here, you'll love this. PlayStation will acquire Square Enix this year. That's right. Let that sit. Let that marinade. I'm just going for they're getting into ludicrous territory now, but that's why I'm here.
It would make sense, but you've got the head of Square Enix talking about, developing games for other consoles and putting the Final Fantasy games on other consoles and stuff as well. So
because the sales weren't good enough.
Yeah, so I don't know, but
what better way to remove your financial worries?
I know, 100%.
Sell your wares.
100%. It's it makes sense. It does make sense. Aye.
Well, hit me with your next one.
Okay. I think this is a two-parter. I think Elden Ring Night Rain will be a huge misstep,
right,
for From Software, and I think that it will ramp up the process towards a Bloodborne remake or Bloodborne 2.
Oh man, if there's one of these things that I wish to manifest, it's that one.
I think that Night Rain, it's I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what it is, but
it just ain't it, Chief. That's it.
And there'll be people out there that'll love it. Like, you'll have the absolute nutters out there that'll enjoy it. But yeah, I don't think. I think it's the misstep that From Software need.
Yeah.
To they've been cooking they've been cooking at high heat forever now, and you do sometimes have to have a Dark Souls 2.
It's basically their Icarus moment.
And it's like
too close to the sun.
Yeah, and now let's go back to what we know. Let's go back to something that's a proven, a proven win. Bloodborne remake, get it out, and then you could then say, but here's more. Here's something to look forward to in 2026.
I mean, imagine they announced a project where it was like, we're remaking Bloodborne and we're also announcing Bloodborne 2's in development. Something like that.
I think that's it.
Man, the internet would implode.
It would. And it's such an easy win. Like,
I know we've said this on the show for ages, so haven't we? Just like, that's the low hanging fruit they need to aim for. Speaking of which, the next one here for you. Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra, will be cancelled because it isn't a real game.
Yes, 100%. Amy Hennig's attached to it, so of course it'll get fucking cancelled.
The queen of cancellations.
Oh, it's horrendous.
If this does
happen, I just want to put it out because Amy Hennig was part of, what do you call them? Crystal Dynamics, when they made the Soul Reaver series. So, she can release games.
She's got game.
And she does have game. But this game is, I'm just saying, this game is not real. It doesn't make sense. And it's coming at a time where people are, I mean, when was the last time that Black Panther and Captain America were relevant?
Well, it depends who you ask. But
when was the last time they were actually relevant? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just coming out at the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It feels like a Marvel Avengers moment. Like
Marvel games is on a bit of a hot streak now. Mm-hmm. Like they're releasing, I wouldn't say 10 out of 10 games, but they're releasing good, solid games, and they're the high of Marvel rivals. Something like this, man, it's like they can't risk it. No. And I don't know, it just feels like it's been a tech demo project, and it wouldn't surprise me to see it get cancelled the same way like the Star Wars project did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that one for you. I've got a few more here, but we'll quickly fire through them because I've still got the Pixel Picks Showdown to do. So.
That'll be a quick one. I reckon this year will be the year that we finally see a Kingdom Hearts 4 gameplay trailer.
Man. Speaking of internet,
because
exploding.
Final Fantasy 7 isn't going to be anywhere near anything. Final Fantasy 16's done. I don't think we're going to get Final Fantasy 17 anytime soon. Mm-hmm. Only makes sense to get Kingdom Hearts 4 out there.
True.
Show that to the world.
Yeah.
Put Moana in Kingdom Hearts 4. Mm-hmm. Give us a Moana zone in Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah. That's how you get you to play it.
That's actually a really good one, actually. That'd be brilliant. The next one for you here. The Oblivion remake is real.
Okay.
But it's going to come out before the Sky Oblivion mod is finished, which is nearly done. And I think that's going to be tragic and hilarious at the same time.
That would be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I've put here that Borderlands 4 will almost kill Gearbox.
It does feel like it has that potential to nuke them.
Mm-hmm. I don't want it to, but I think that it will almost kill Gearbox to a point that there'll be no more Borderlands games ever made. Feels
a bit like what we're talking about with Assassin's Creed, like a bit of a last roll of the dice for that franchise, but in a different way, because I'm still shocked that they have, after we both went to watch the Borderlands movie at the cinema, did an episode about it, and we said at the time, Borderlands just needs to go away for a long time and get fresh again. And the fact that they announced this game months after that complete disaster.
Ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. I've only got 2 written down and 1 in my head.
Right, okay, I've got a few here. Do you want me just to hit you with them all?
No, just go through them one at a time, and then you can round them off.
This one's a short one anyway. So, Marvel's Wolverine will be released in September 2025. I'm going all in this one.
Right, okay.
Been very specific.
Aye, that's very specific. Okay.
If that one comes true, I demand a succulent Chinese meal. Right?
Right, okay. You can get a succulent Chinese meal for that. I think Nintendo are going to acquire Platinum Games.
Oh, damn. That's a very tasty one.
A lot of the team are leaving Platinum, so I think it's the right time. And they just focus on like Bayonetta and stuff like that.
Oh man, I mean, imagine then there's another Bayonetta for Switch 2. You know,
Don't think Bayonetta 3 did quite as well as people thought.
it didn't, but knowing that the way we're going, we'll probably hear about Bayonetta 4 before the Switch 2 is announced.
What they might even do is acquire Platinum, take that away, and just bring them in as part of Nintendo. And then Nintendo becomes de facto creators of Bayonetta. Make a Bayonetta remake.
Tasty.
Remake Bayonetta, there you go.
Remake Bayonetta.
Remake everything.
I've got a short one here for you. Half-Life 3 will be teased this year only. That's it. You're not going to get a release date. You're not going to get gameplay. You're going to get some bullshit teaser trailer that will be a release valve. See what I did there?
That's
release valve.
So it is.
For those fans out there that are demanding more of that quintessential 4 out of 10 experience. So that's going to get teased this year.
Makes sense, aye. To middling,
listen, people want that middling.
They do, man. No, it's me, my middling appreciation of it.
Bored that absolute life at me.
Yeah, I can't be asked.
Yeah.
I don't think that we'll get another Mortal Kombat game this year. I don't think we'll get another Warner Brothers fighting game this year.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose.
And this would be the year to do it.
Yeah, it would be.
I think that I would be surprised if someone doesn't pick up NetherRealm and the Mortal Kombat license from Warner Brothers. I think that we'll start to see that whole thing start to kind of plow down and fuck off. So I think that this is sort of, warning signs and, air raid sirens for NetherRealm and the Mortal Kombat series. Like, Mortal Kombat 1 has not performed anywhere near as good as they need it to. Warner Brothers are literally dying on their ass when it comes to their games.
Yeah.
So they need something. And I think that we'll start to see the flash sale of all these kind of things, and you might see a PlayStation maybe pick something like that up. I reckon that
amazing.
It would be silly for something like, I think that EA could maybe do something quite well with a Mortal Kombat if you kind of keep the same people on. Xbox potentially, yeah.
I mean,
but the Xbox have got Killer Instinct, which is basically the same game. So I think that there's something there, but I do think that we will not see. Actually, I don't even think we'll see another Mortal Kombat for another few years, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good sound prediction. That I think it definitely makes sense when you're explaining that. You're more clued up in that than I am, but I think you're right. Like, for whatever reason, Mortal Kombat 1 bombed, despite it. Like, I think it was a pretty solid game. I think it was received, but it's just, I don't know. Was it marketed correctly? We're not sure.
I think it was kind of like a damp squib.
Yeah, maybe they just released too many too close together as well.
Potentially, yeah.
Anyhow, I'll go on to the next one here.
All mine are sad.
Oh, yours are sad. I've got 3 left here, and they're meaty, right? They're meaty ones. So in fact, it's like a sandwich, 2 bits of bread, right? Or a reverse sandwich. It's like a double down for KFC. So this one here, Xbox, they're going to go multi-platform this year, and they're going to announce most of their games are coming to other platforms. So the strategy comes to fruition. We're going to get another strategy update with like Big Phil, Sarah Bond, and in addition to this strategy and the platforms, Switch 2 will be included in that, and they'll release some games as part of this platform. This is the year, I think, I predict, where they open the floodgates on this. Everything is an Xbox strategy. And I think last year, the way it came out, the damage control with the kind of strategy update that they did, which felt very strange, particularly when you're talking to consumers. I think this year they now know, like when you look at the marketing campaign that's ramping up, it makes perfect sense now. It's like they are warming up to this. And I think to come back to what you talked about with other games coming, I think that's tip of the iceberg. I think they're going to announce an absolute like swathe of like phase 1 of all these big Xbox titles, and like you said, Halo
will be on it. Makes sense,
They'll take it in the chin, but I think they have to do that at some point, because like, do we stick with the diehards and continue to go against our 5-year strategic plan, or do we have to just be brave and disrupt our own like ecosystem effectively to achieve what we think is the future? And I think they're going to do that this year because they need to make that money back on those big investments and acquisitions that they've put out. So, yeah, that's my one there.
That's your one there. Interesting. I think that 2025 will signal another Street Fighter character showing up in Tekken 8.
Oh, right.
And I think that character will be something like potentially Jury.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be like a Ryu or a Akuma or anything like that again. I think we're going to get Jury in Street Fighter or something like that. In Tekken, sorry. Or you might even get Kazuya in Street Fighter.
Oh, damn.
You'll see one in another game.
I like that.
I
do like that.
I think it would be even better to get a Tekken character in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Because it's not been done before. You've obviously had Street Fighter cross Tekken, but you've never had a singular Tekken character in Street Fighter. I don't even think you'd put Kazuya, put Paul in it. Put somebody that nobody would expect.
Yeah.
Like Paul showing up in Tekken would be fucking showing up in Street Fighter would be absolutely fucking hilarious.
Put Kuma in there.
Put Kuma in it. Honestly, it would be the funniest thing. Like some of the interactions between him and Zangief would be incredible. It would just make sense.
I'm here for it. Well, does that round up all your ones? So I've only got two left, so I can quickly fire through.
So,
one's a small one. One's a small one.
Yeah, that's me.
Right, okay, so out with the small one first. Hollow Knight Silk Song will come out this year at long last, but it won't be as good as the first. So it will be a disappointment. And the last one is Rocksteady. They're going to announce that they're going back to the Batman Arkham Well, and they're going to be announcing the development of another Batman game because they need the W. And I feel that coming back to your point about WB and with the reception they got with Arkham Shadow, I think they're like, we need something like big to kind of. I think they've learned their lesson. They've been burned, and they're going to double down on these single player experiences. I think that's we're going to see the pivot, and Rocksteady are going to be basically told, "We want this, go make it." There might not be something they're leading the charge on, but I think between that and the Hogwarts Legacy 2, that's where Warner Brothers knows like that'll make us money.
That's the money for it.
That's the money.
Got to spend money though, and that's the problem with Warner Brothers. That's the issue with them at the moment.
Exactly.
I think it's an interesting one. I think that Rocksteady are too good to just let them burn out and fizzle away.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like
so much talent.
There's so much talent there. So it would be wrong to let that die. But I
think that's peak ludicrous prediction for me.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But it feels like they have to do something. Like, I think it was a naive decision to stop the Arkham series in the first place.
Yeah.
You know? But
I also think you do run the risk of over saturating.
They will.
The Batman series. I don't know whether or not you could go down a different route with it, but
it could even be something as simple. Like, I think it could even be something simple as like a remake of Arkham Asylum or something like that they could end up doing. But I do think that they will find a spot within their own canon to tell another story.
What about old Batman?
Yeah.
You do the Dark Knight Returns?
Or there was the Dark Knight Returns. Or
the Batman Beyond, something like that?
Both. Batman Beyond's future and Dark Knight Returns is when he is old.
Is he old in Batman Beyond? Is he? I wasn't actually. Because I know there was a game made many moons ago.
He is old. He's also mentoring at that point Bruce Wayne, and he's old AF. But there was like a Batman Beyond-esque game in development.
Aye.
The lead up to Gotham Knights.
Because it leaked.
It did.
And you can actually play it like online.
I think you're supposed to be playing as Damian Wayne as part of it. And it looked fantastic. But obviously, it's just the concept art looked fantastic. Whether or not it would have been a good game, I think
there's stuff online. I mean, you can play the concept stuff on it. Like there's gameplay of it and stuff like floating around. Go back to just make a Dark Knight Returns game. Make it mental.
Yeah.
Like give us that scene where he fucking breaks the guy's legs and all that. It's class. And we just have an older, gruff as fuck Batman that literally just knocks fuck at everyone.
It'd be great. I mean, you know, Batman's in a weird spot as in terms of an IP just now
At the moment, yeah.
And I think it's been a total almost criminal offence of how they treat the Batman IP, and that's on DC and everybody else, the license holders.
It's James Gunn's head.
I mean, listen, I want nothing more than Superman to be amazing, but he's at the same saloon with Kojima for me. It's like, listen, mate, this needs to be good.
Yeah,
but we need Superman. This year, we need it. We need some hope. We need a hero of that ilk. And this year of our Lord 2025, more than ever, we need to hope and feel again. But
I don't think I don't think Superman has ever been good, apart from Man of Steel.
Oh, come on.
Man of Steel, and this is a hot take for everyone. Christopher Lee, God bless his soul.
I don't like where this is going.
Those Superman movies were fucking dog shit.
Oh, come on.
Man of Steel is the best Superman movie.
No.
It is the best Superman movie.
No, the first Superman film's the best Superman movie.
He's fucking
it really
beast.
is.
Even the fucking, what'd you call him? Even the TV show. Oh God, what was his name? Was the guy that played Superman in the TV show?
Oh, you talk about Lois and Clark?
Yeah.
Dean Cain.
Even those were fucking shite as well.
New Superman adventures.
Even those pish.
Oh,
Man of Steel is the only good thing Superman has ever done.
Oh, that is outrageous. Outrageous. I need, if you're listening to this, open up your app, get on Spotify and leave a comment. Just say outrageous. Please back me up on this.
Back me up. It's true. It is 100% true.
Well, on that bombshell, that does actually wrap up the predictions for this year. Jesus Christ. So it looks like it's going to be yet another jam-packed year. If any one of those predictions come true, man.
The thing about the predictions is that there's not one prediction there that doesn't have an element of potential truth to it. Like, there's some there that I don't think are completely outlandish.
Yeah, but it's also, there's a lesson. There's a kernel of truth in this lesson here, which is, this is just two guys at a table spitballing, talking at their arse. And I would also add that is effectively, that is like 99.9% of the internet.
That's true.
So when insiders and all the rest of it put it out, there's literally probably one or two, I would say, that when they speak, you're like, okay, there's something to that. But, take it with a grain of salt.
Take ours with a cup full of salt.
It's got a massive heaping, grit bin. That's what we need. I think, there's people behind these rumours, there's pressure created, there's all that stuff as well. But at the end of the day, it's just a bit of fun. And if it does come true, if any one of these come true, Scott, succulent Chinese meal.
I'm going to be so fat this year.
Looks like they're doing it live.
Actual
Big John.
That's the first Bosch of this podcast.
There we go, date it.
It's taken this long.
January 2025, the Bosch cast was born. Don't worry, that's not happening. But anyway, I think it's time for us to move on, of course, to the next segment, which means it's time for the Pixel Picks Showdown, where each week we each pick a game from our chosen theme and decide which one deserves to live on in the hallowed Pixel Picks list, which is our definitive list of the best games we recommend to pass on to the next generation of gamers. Now, last week's theme was comedy game, with South Park: The Stick of Truth becoming the next worthy addition to that list. Now, of course, this week's showdown, we're going to be debating what best Hero FPS game we think should feature on the Pixel Picks list. As always, last week's winner goes last. Now, we both picked the same, but Scott went first. So, Scott, you're going last this week. So,
is that how we're doing it for 2025? That's the new rule.
If you
pick it. No, the coin chose previously.
Oh, we forgot to coin it last week. Well, you know what? I'm going to give you the one anyway because you were at pains last week. So we're kicking things off on a theme of mercy for the year. But of course, let's get to it. So Hero FPS, of course. Obviously, your favourite type of game, first person.
Of course, yep.
Shooting. It usually has some type of sci-fi, fantasy feel to it. For me, my honourable mention has to be Doom. OG Doom. In terms of influence, I think it can't be understated, just like how it's the Mac granddaddy of them all when we're talking about Hero FPS. The Doom guy being the progenitor of a hero within a first-person shooter, Hero grey area. But the blistering gameplay I talked to you about earlier, the adrenaline in my veins and my arse, the music, the endlessly addictive nature to it all. Playing it as a kid, I'll never forget it. It obviously blew my mind, but
Yeah.
it felt forbidden and so cool at the same time. You know,
forbidden fruit.
just with that, like this very basic pixelated gore and stuff like these monsters coming at you, and you know, without the success of it, who knows where we may be today.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a seminal
100%.
game.
Yeah.
But it's not my main pick this year or this week, sorry. We're only doing one a year. My pick for this category has to be Overwatch. I just had to. It's the lowest hanging fruit. That's why. You know, the game effectively galvanized the term hero shooter amongst gamers, popularizing it in a way that we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, of course, there were ones that shared similar, you know,
DNA
with it.
Yeah.
But Overwatch took it to new heights, you know. And of course, it isn't the same now. But seeing its pomp, man, that game hit different, you know. It was
aye.
the shooter we wanted and needed, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
I remember coming back from Canada feeling like absolute arse, and my wife had bought me it. Just like, and that never happened. She just went out and bought me this Overwatch. And I was like, thank you. And that game healed me. And, you know, with the focus and all that, playing in the objective, not just being Twitch based, just kill, die, repeat. The incredible characters.
Yes.
Obviously, I am a Pharah main to the very end, ride or die. It has it all. But honest day, still one of the best FPS games of all time. And I wanted to make a big comeback. You know, Overwatch 2 and what they did with that and muddied it. It was such a shame. Such a shame. But
yeah.
Overwatch 1, man, you just had to be there. So
you
good.
Did.
So good.
No, you did. 100%. 2016.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
You're right.
Disgusting how time flies. It's almost 10 years ago. So, in terms of my own picks, I don't have an honourable mention because the minute you put Hero FPS, the only real answer you can give is Overwatch.
Yes.
It is the only game that genuinely I could think of. You've got your Valorants, you've got, you know, Concord, as you want to go down that route.
Still a good game.
It's still a bloody good game. Like Concord live. But yeah, the only real choice there is Overwatch. It is the reason why hero shooters are, you know, they were in vogue at that time. It is the only hero shooter that I paid money for. Yeah. Sadly, because you told me about it and I went to Sainsbury's and bought it. And I got a free t-shirt that I never wore. But it was just, you know, you die, you can change the characters, and then you just fall in love with one character. And you start buying skins for them, you know? Like, I have skins for Winston that I'll never see again. But it was almost like kind of on par with Fortnite for a while. Like, it was almost, you know, like you had Fortnite and then you would have had Overwatch as well.
Yeah.
And it could have capitalised on that success. Like, every single time there was a new character brought out, I could think of Doomfist when he was coming out. Like, there was always these kind of, it's like kind of world building. So you see all the kind of characters' pictures on the walls. There's like wanted posters, there's stories about them and the things. You've got loads of these wee trailers and stuff like that as well that tell you more about the characters. Like, it was doing everything so right.
Yeah.
And the game modes, you know, they weren't great, but they were perfect for what you were doing in it.
It was just so simply brilliant.
You know? And do you know what? If they hadn't gone down the route of an Overwatch 2 and just said, look, even if they just did it now and said, look, we're scrapping Overwatch 2 completely. Everything from Overwatch 2 just gets patched into Overwatch 1, and Overwatch 1 just becomes this place. It's not a game, it's just an app where you can just go and enjoy it. You could quite easily tempt me back to playing it again because it was fucking brilliant. Like, McCree, not his name anymore because that is blacklisted. It's like McCain or something like that, or something daft. But see that his ultimate, where you see the things. It's like it's high noon, and then all the fucking targets come on. It's just like it was incredible.
Everything about it, man.
It was so good. But the fact that you got me to play that game for so many hours,
oh man,
as a big monkey, like. Nothing else like it. Honestly, it was a beautiful experience, and it hit at the right time because we all had time to play it.
Yeah.
Like, my daughter hadn't been born yet. yours was.
No, it was before. It was in the before times. I mean, she was born the year after.
Aye, so you would have been. Yeah. Aye, so it was. It just hit at the right time, and we had the group, and we could do it all together. Do you know what I mean? It was
even played it, Scott, on a 24-hour charity stream for special effect.
We did actually, yeah.
God, I wish I could get that footage from somewhere, man, just to watch us slowly die.
So tired.
24 hours.
Yeah.
God almighty. I don't know why we kept Dark Souls to the last hours. That was terrible.
Aye. If we started that, I'd have maybe got further through it, but...
that nearly killed us.
Yeah.
We were literally just spread across the couch, just dying
slowly. But no, it was just a pure moment in time, and you know, it's really testament to how good that game was that we still look at it this now, even though it's failures as Overwatch 2, and we still look at Overwatch and think like that's the blueprint to how to do it.
Yep.
And
I mean, here about with Marvel Rivals.
Exactly.
You know.
So, I think it's time. It's time, and the sun has gone, and I don't think I'll ever get it back. No. And Tracer was in Ready Player One as well, so there you go.
There you go. Aye.
Managed to jump into there.
Legacy lives on.
Tracer's die here.
Well, of course, that brings us then. Of course, Overwatch. Congratulations.
Who wins this? Who wins this now? Do we settle it on the coin?
Let's do the coin. Let's do it. You know, the listeners love a bit of the coin.
Coin flip.
I hate the coin. I fear the coin.
Right. So heads or tails?
I'm going to go tails.
Flip again.
Flip again. Or didn't.
Heads. I never win the coin.
Ooh, there we go. Well,
this is my year.
Well done, Scott. Overwatch as well. You are the latest addition to the Pixel Picks list, which of course is now 40 entries deep. Would you believe?
Who can believe that we have recorded 40 episodes?
Oh, God,
more than actually that, but 40 main episodes of this podcast.
This is episode
some
42.
Some would say there should be a Patreon in here.
God, this is it. The year of the grift.
The year of the grift. Some would say. I'm not saying it. You know, I've heard rumblings of it in the street. But
aye. The street with the crackheads. You know
what I mean? somebody wants it.
No, that's
my pointless. I'll put out a 15-minute podcast and me drive my daughter to work every day.
If there's one thing that rips my knitting, right, it's when you listen to a podcast for a long time, like 40 odd episodes, and you're like, "This is great." And I take pride in the fact that our podcasts are quite meaty, you know, because you want something to listen to when you're doing an epic batch of the dishes or something, or sitting on the throne, and it's like, right, and then you listen to it and it's still weak.
Mm-hmm.
Right, guys, so for the first 20 minutes is available for everybody. The next hour and a half you can get that with our extra special Patreon level coverage. It's like, oh man, get fucked. Like,
you're going to see it. You're going to see it worse now because Spotify, you can get Patreon stuff on Spotify now as well. So listen, this podcast will be free
for the people,
by the people.
That's it.
Until I decide it's not.
Until I'll do my best to have him fight his grift.
I'm going to be the what do you call him? The Murdoch. What do you call him again?
Rupert
Murdoch. This podcast, big old cunt.
Oh God, aye.
That's
Jesus
me.
Christ Almighty.
I'm going to fleece everyone for everything. I'm going to make a Bitcoin. I'm going to make cryptocurrency in my face. You're all invited.
No, I don't think I could ever get away with charging somebody to listen to me talk shite, to be honest. So
you're correct.
Free shall it remain. But of course, on that note, that brings us to the end of this week's podcast. So thank you once again for joining us. And if you like what you hear and enjoy the podcast, leave a wee 5-star review. It helps us out. It makes a big difference. And subscribe to it. No, I'm joking. And Scott, it is test time. So where can people find you online if they wish to engage with your musings on all things Grand Theft Auto 4?
Oh man, that's all that is now. You can find me on Blue Sky at lamman.bsky.social.
Lovely, got it in one, folks. And for me, you can follow me at carmelite.bsky.social. Now, of course, thank you to our producer and music man, the talented and handsome Mr. Sean Murray, who we will be welcoming back on the show. I'm pleased to say the Christmas episode. Thank you to everybody that listened to that. People really did enjoy that show.
It's just Sean. It's just Sean.
It's the magic of Sean.
He's carrying it.
It really is.
If only we understood that was the case and just put him on every podcast.
I would love that, man. He's just such a lovely human being. Honestly, love him to bits. And of course, you can listen to the next episode on all major podcast platforms or follow us on Blue Sky at pixelparents.bsky.social. And of course, please write to us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. What's in your mind? Do you think Scott's wrong for attacking Superman? Just let us know. Let us know.
Listen. Man of Steel is the best Superman movie. It's the best piece of Superman media. Full stop.
Right, kill the Snyderverse. Let's
kill it. But Man of Steel, I'm telling you.
I'm expecting more words from our readers. But until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and thanks for listening.
And remember, Raw's on Netflix.